Hello, everybody. This is Amber, host of the You Are My Sister talk show. Today is Sunday, March the 11th. I am here with my guest today, Binghamton's own Director of Leicester Community Center, Mr. Walter Casey. As I always do, it's about 5 minutes till we're going to play some music until the show starts to give everybody a chance to sign on. We're going to play today a song that Casey liked and I liked too, a song that he played when he first opened the center in 1980. It is by Sister Sledge. We are family. And Binghamton, we are family. So let me start the music here. And we're going to listen to it. Mr. Crawford has already signed on. You can see right here. We're going to listen to some music because we're family again. Hi, Beverly. Hi, Tricia. Anderson, Lisa Edwards, Wanda Williams, Wendy Laylock, Ty Brown. The love is going across the street. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. My brothers and my sisters. We are family. One nigga said, one hood nigga. Hey, Mom, that's not you. We are family. My sister Pamela, hi. And my sisters are right now. Mr. Crawford says, hey, you too. Love you both. Love you too, Bishop. We're family, Binghamton. Everyone can see we're together. Trisha Henderson says, yes, Binghamton, we are family. Arthur Brian Cooper has joined. Mother says, yes. I want you. No lie. All of the people. Give them a chance to sign on. Can they be that close? Yes, we get close, Binghamton. Just let me speak for the record. We're giving love in a family dog. We are family. Hey, Dorothy Moore says, love you both. We are family. Get up, everybody, and sing. We are family. I got all my sisters with me. Pam, I hope you let Daddy watch this. Family. Get up, everybody, and sing. One of the legends for life, Binghamton, yes. Of this world, still alive. Our hopes we had. Tasha Jones, hi Tasha. Stella, how you doing? Are you from Binghamton, Tasha? We don't get it fast. Here's what we call our golden rule. Have faith in you and the things you do. You won't go wrong. Oh no, this is a family do. We are family. Say to me, I got all my sisters and my brothers with me. We are family. I can hear you now. Everybody say, yeah, I know that you do. Dorothy says yes. Becky Harper says, how about this, Casey? Praise God. My sister's good thing. All right now. Hey, hey. And it's right at 6 o'clock. Yes. Sing it to me. All righty. Today is March the 11th, and I'm going to try not to cry.
Okay.
I'm going to try not to cry.
Right.
I have, which you are a legend, not only in Binghamton, Casey, but in Memphis.
Right.
You are probably one of the first people that I ever met that had a sense of purpose.
Okay.
38 years ago. Longer than that, truthfully.
That's correct. Yes.
Before I even knew what my purpose was or even thought about living a life of purpose, you have been a man of purpose. and you have used your life and your purpose to help other people stay on purpose or find their purpose through becoming the director of Leicester Community Center. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've been extremely blessed.
Yes, you have.
I just enjoyed, and I could not have made it this far without some of the people that I stood up on their shoulders.
Yes.
In order for me to keep my head above water.
And tell us, who are some of those people?
Well, the instant I think about the people that helped me most is our Spillers and John C. Johns.
Okay, and they are?
These are basketball coaches.
Okay.
Jay Peacock was my junior high basketball coach. But even before I entered junior high, they came over to Leicester at that time, Leicester Elementary School, and they recruited some athletes because they wanted us to have a sincere and a enormous fundamentals of the game of basketball in any sport that we wanted to get in. So the coach O'Neill came over, our Spillers came over, the basketball coach, and he coached some of the legends in basketball, like the Vinnie Price, like the Charles Paul, like the Richard Jones. And then from there, we were just in the 6th grade, and they knew that we
had Leicester Elementary.
And they brought us over as 6th graders to participate in a summer gym program that helped us to just learn the fundamentals of basketball. And at that particular time, we were good basketball players, but we were known as backyard basketball players because we were not playing as a team, but as a unit. And so our Spillers is the one that brought me over. He introduced me to Harper Brewer. He introduced me to Jake Peacock. And there were other players like Larry Price, like a Reginald Mosby, like a Michael Walker, like a Taylor. And then there were other guys that were under, like a James Lewis, like a Cleveland Needham. And what we did, we just had great teams, even though we were a small community, and we may have been small in numbers, but we just had huge hearts. And
it was a family in Binghamton.
Absolutely.
We grew up in Binghamton was a really family community, safe. And there was so much love and respect, and kids had to remind everybody.
Absolutely. I'm going to go back to whereas if I was doing something wrong, and I was as a preteen, and I'm saying at the age of maybe 9, 10, 11, or 12, if I did something wrong, and one of my friends was like Michael Taylor or the Jordans, Tom Jordan, and their mother saw me doing something wrong, it was left up to them to correct me. And if they decided to give me a scolding, a chastisement, whooping, I knew that I was going to follow up by getting the same things from my parents, and there were not going to be any questions asked. Because those people were in our life to make sure that we grew up the proper way. And we
had the village, is what I call it. See, we grew up in the village of Binghamton.
That's right. and it takes a village.
It takes a village. And we've lost that, but it still takes a village, you guys. So parents out there, if we get back to the village, this has been the chief of the village of Binghamton.
Thank you.
And you have. I remember when Leicester opened. I remember when we was just going to Leicester Gymnasium just for activities.
And you do have to understand that when we were growing up, when we were in our 8, 9, and 10 years old, there was no place for us to go.
No place.
And up until the age of maybe 28 or 29, at that particular time, there was no health department. There was no live grocery store where you could pick up fresh vegetables and fruit. There was nothing in this little pocket area.
No, it wasn't even a library in Binghamton. In our community, there was no library. But what there was down Tillman and Johnson, you guys, back we talk in the 70s, was black-owned businesses. There was Eddie's service station.
That's correct.
There was the Taylor's grocery store, Allen's Cream Cone. You could get your hair done as Big Mama's.
And then there was a barbershop.
And there was a barbershop, and we grew up in a community where you could walk the streets and be safe.
Right. And then what's probably most important is that as parents of kids, we respected those parents, and those parents treated us like that we were their kids. So it was just a beautiful family.
It was a beautiful. I'm proud to be a Binghamton native because that's who nurtured me.
That's correct.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so to come back home, we all, I think, were taught in some way to go to school, get an education, get a job, and move from the hood.
That's right.
The black plight or flight. You know what I'm saying? Right. And
my parents always wanted me to be more successful than they were.
Yeah.
And not only were those the sentiments of my parents,
yes,
but they were the sentiments of all of my friends' parents.
Yes.
They wanted to make sure we took every opportunity of getting off the streets that we were working and out of the neighborhoods we were, and make life a little bit better for ourselves and our kids. And
so what happened, we lost something though.
Yeah.
You know, we did get educated. We did grow up, and we left and we moved to what we thought were greener pastures, better communities, which left the community. Grass is grass and dirt is dirt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so we took our money elsewhere. And so that left a gap, that left a void, that left a bankruptcy, if you will. Not just financially, but spiritually. The village became bankrupt because we moved away. And I'm not saying that was necessarily the wrong thing to do, but now looking back, we know that we have a responsibility to nurture the community that nurtured us.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel.
And athletes talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
They talk about giving back.
Yes.
And then one of the things they talk about giving back as a native of the city of Memphis, a lot of times when you think about it, you think that you have to give back in some type of financial reward. You do not, you know. You can give back with your kindness, you can give back with your generosity, you can give back with your time, your energy, and your effort. And you can let the people know they're struggling right now, that there is in that tunnel, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you just got to work hard for it.
It is.
And I want to say something about this young man, because his name is Anthony Hardaway.
Yes, Penny.
And Penny, you know, the one of the probably the biggest things that he has done is that he has come back in his neighborhood.
Yes, he has.
I need to also mention that Penny and Penny's mother now were classmates with one another.
Really?
We came out together in '69.
Wow.
But Penny has really given back, and that just makes me feel great because that encourages me to give back. That encourages me to work on my day off. It encourages me to come to work maybe an hour or too early. And if I got kids that's still at the building, that even though the building may be closed at 8 o'clock, which is our closing time, if you're still there and you're waiting for your parents, we're not going to kick you out. We're going to stay there till your parents come and get you. So
it is a lighthouse to me.
Okay.
Leicester Community Center, and truthfully, all of our community centers, because when I moved out to Fraser, and not only Leicester Community Center, but North Fraser Community Center. And Ed Rice was the same safe haven for my son as Binghamton was for me. And that's, you guys are educators.
Okay.
You guys are not just babysitters. You're not just up there. The greatest thing that I've learned that you can give back is to share the knowledge that you have. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly.
When you teach people what you know, and how to be better, and how to overcome, and how to achieve, and how to persevere, and whatever it is that you have accomplished, that's better than any gift of money, any gift of really anything, because to teach is the most powerful tool that we all have.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And one of the things that we do, and we're still trying to do, is that we have an association called Leicester High School Alumni Association.
Okay.
And one of the things that they do, they give away 3 scholarships.
Okay.
But the person has to be either related to or lived in or has to have some connection in the Binghamton area.
Community.
And they give one of the scholarships is for $750, $500, and $300 scholarship. And they're talking about even putting more money in those 3 scholarships.
Yes.
But that's, and I said that because I want everyone to know that it's more than just recreation that we're trying to improve. We're trying to improve the educational opportunities and the educational advancement for kids in the Binghamton area.
Yes. And I'm so glad you're on here, because like I told Dietrich and I told like Xavier and Warren and some of the other ones from Binghamton have been on, is I have so much knowledge to give, to teach. I want to help kids to write books, become young authors, because that's what I do. I write books and I have a publishing company. And I want to teach kids entrepreneurship, financial management, because some of the things that we did miss growing up, and just because of the era that we grew up in, is that we did not learn. Nowhere in my education in elementary, junior high, and high school, and even in my college years, was I ever really taught personal financial management. And then the fact that you can be a business owner. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you can.
So we are living in a world today where everything is possible, even more than it ever was. Whatever you want to be, what you want, what your aspirations are, what your dreams are. But if you don't have financial understanding with money, and how to manage it personally, and how to invest it in something that in yourself and your dreams, that's where we have lagged or haven't had been miseducated, if you will. That we can own anything. Like the businesses that flourished in Binghamton that are not there anymore, we lived in that community, but we didn't teach that to our children.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, and those are the things that I like to teach. Among things is that for the young kids to grow up and know that you are powerful.
Absolutely.
That you have a purpose, that you have the potential to be and do anything you want to do. It's not just about getting a job, getting an education, and going on to work for somebody when you can work for yourself.
Yeah, one of the things we do at the center is that we try to tell the kids that you're important. You're a person. But you've got to make the effort, and you've got to have the stick-to-itiveness. You've got to have the dedication,
the determination,
and the desire to be better in whatever your goals
circumstances are.
Yeah. And then we also are teaching our kids how to not only try to be the best they can be, but also we're trying to teach them to live right, to eat right.
Yes,
and
the whole life is, the whole spectrum of life.
The whole child.
The whole child. If you teach them right, becomes a whole person, a whole responsible adult. Let's read some of the comments here, you guys. Tasha Jones says, yes, I agree. Wanda says, absolutely, and amen. Beverly Harper says, we need our community center, and we love our community center. It's for our babies, our teenagers, and our seniors, and whoever else wants to step in the building. Praise God for Leicester Community Center. Amen. You have good workers and volunteers, and we love Walter Casey and Alice Davis. Praise God. Amen for them. Yes. Carla Jazzy Pope says, right. And Robin Allen has joined. Thank you, Robin. So how did you, when you, what college did you graduate from?
I graduated from Tennessee State, but also when I came back to Tennessee State.
What year was that?
Okay, I graduated from Tennessee State in '73.
Okay.
And then I went on to pursue a postgraduate degree.
Okay.
So I have an education degree from the University of Memphis. And at that time,
what did you major in? What's your postgraduate?
In education, because I actually wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And that's strange you would say that because you've shared with me that you wanted to be the teacher and you want to teach.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to share some of the goodness that I had witnessed and people that had been kind to me.
Yes.
I wanted to give that back to some of the other teachers. And the area that I was in, I have what they call a twin degree. It's in health, physical education, and education. So when I got out of school, it was extremely difficult for me to get a job. So I decided to try to get a job recreational since I had a background in swimming. And then that's where it all started. I went from the lowest position that you could get at a swimming pool. That's called a porter. And that position no longer exists anymore. My job as the porter was to sit in the bathhouses and make sure the guys shave. I mean, they shave and shower
before they got into the pool.
And
where did you work from that? Was that here at the Memphis Park Commission?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
At that particular time, it was the Memphis Park Commission. And I worked at Pine Hill Swimming Pool, which is in the Deep South. So I got the chance to learn a lot of guys from Booker T. Washington, from Southside High School, from Hamilton High School. And I just had a brotherhood with those guys because all of them were either basketball players or swimmers. And I went from there to being a swimming pool lifeguard to the head guard, and eventually became the manager of the pool. My last position with the pool situation that I became the superintendent over all 18 swimming pools.
That was under the park commission.
That's correct.
Wow. And so then the opportunity came when the idea and the inception of building Leicester Community Center. How did you end up and land that position?
It's kind of unbelievable because the center opened in 80, and I originally got my first job in 74.
Okay.
All right, so that was 8 years prior to that. Okay. So I worked at the following centers. I worked at a center that no longer exists anymore, and it's right behind Orange Mound. So I worked at that Orange Mound Community Center. Okay. Then I went to
as a what at that time?
As a part-timer.
Okay. Yeah.
And in that particular time, again, it was hard getting a job, a salary job as a teacher.
Yeah.
You could get one as a substitute teacher very, very easily.
Yeah.
Then I left. I didn't leave that job, but I got promoted to an assistant director at Dave Wells. Then they moved me over to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And they had an opening for a gymnast at Douglas, and they were going to make him a director, but he would be up under another director. Okay. So I was the assistant director to the director. And my job was to program sports and athletic and gymnastics in the Douglas area. So I stayed there for 7 years. Okay. And then the job opened, and I watched the development of Leicester Community Center from the groundbreaking to the opening ceremonies to the position that I now hold. Yeah. And I became the director. And we came from a center or from a community that had no community center, and now we are the front runner or the torch bearer of all the community centers. Wow. And we don't even compare our centers to some of the smaller centers. Yeah. We compare them with community centers that are the only recreation facilities in places like Germantown or Collierville or Cordova. Yeah. So we're on that level. Yes. And people are just amazed as how well the people have taken care of their community center.
When I came home 2 years ago and rode through Binghamton, it's 2016, and I stayed gone for 10 years, and saw the mural on the, I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're talking about a proud feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Alice Davis has joined. Alice, girl, thank you. I remember when you started. Ronald Johnson. Hi, Ronald. Thank you for joining. Casey and I are just talking about how he got the position and how long so you've really been with the Memphis Park Commission for...
This is my 44th year.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So you would have to have a passion. You're doing something. They say when you do something that you love, you never work.
Well, I found out that if I'm around children, it seems like that you never get old.
Yes, that's what my grandmother used to say. Right. The children keep you youthful.
Right. And the other greater love is that the seniors that come to the building.
Yes.
It seems like that I just enjoy that they have a place that they can come.
Yes, and feel safe.
Socialize.
Yes.
And play games that they want to play. And it's one of the most unusual things because my seniors bring their own food and prepare their own food.
Wow.
And whether you're a senior or not, if you want to sit down and eat with them, they don't mind feeding you. And that's where that family love comes back in. And the love for the children, the love for grown-ups. So,
it's a center of love is what it is. It's a center of hope, a center for the future, because the kids are the future. So every day you're working and you're seeing young kids and young lives and young minds when they're in their infancy, if you will. You know what I mean?
I understand.
And then, like a Penny Hardaway, who always talks about how if it wasn't for Alice and the programs you guys had up there, he would not be who he is because he was going to be in the streets. It gave him an opportunity to do something productive. And that's what you guys have been doing and so dedicated to do.
Well, it's a great feeling when those guys leave.
Yes.
And they go off to a major college or a junior college or a state-supported college. Yes. And they come back and tell you that, when you told me that I'm going to have to do better, do my homework, that started me to want to do my homework.
Yes.
And it's just unbelievable that a lot of those guys come back and they said, thank you.
Yes.
And that's all the reward that we could possibly ask for.
Yes.
Is for them to come back and say.
And that's what we're doing here today, Casey. Binghamton and my company is FIG Productions, and You Are My Sister Talk Show. We are doing this today to you. We're telling you publicly, thank you.
Oh,
Wow. Thank you. Trisha Henderson says, we were teenagers when the community center was built in Binghamton. It was the most exciting thing we had ever experienced. Leicester Community Center was and is huge for our community. It is. Right. It really is. If you mention Binghamton, the image that comes to mind for most people is Leicester Community Center. Right. It has, because the truth is, it's still standing. Right. Literally and figuratively, Leicester Community Center is still standing. Right. It's standing proud.
The thing I need to share with people about the community center is that some of the same staff that we hired when we opened the building, we still have that staff. Yeah. So that's dedication. Absolutely. And then here's the thing that really, really made me feel good. At one particular time, and this is when they were having these problems with the charter schools, well, they started talking about closing Leicester Middle School, Leicester Elementary School, and they tried to get a turnout from the people in the neighborhood as to trying to come up there and meet and let's talk about the problem. Yeah. Well, the turnout was extremely low. Well, the founding fathers of the school decided to say, well, let's close Leicester Community Center. There were over 400 people at that other meeting. You know, they were not going to let the community center close because they knew some of the greater things that we're doing for the kids.
That would be taking away a future from people, from generations of people, you know, and not just young people, the generations of people, the seniors who come there and a part of you, that would be taking the heart out of Binghamton.
Well, we're real proud of our seniors, and most facilities throughout the city, the seniors generally leave around 2. Yeah. And that's generally when the population started being increased with teenagers and young adults and small kids. Our seniors stay there till we close up. Wow. They stay there to 6 and 7.
Wow. I wish I could get my dad to come. He needs something to do so bad.
Oh, well, it's the place to come, you know, because you get a chance to talk to people. Yes. They talk about the way cars were made and looked in those days, you know. Yeah. So you get a chance to really socialize. So we have a really good time with ourselves.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And, you know, the thing about Leicester and the thing about Binghamton is I read that in a year or two, of course, East High School is a part of Binghamton.
That's correct.
And they're going to discontinue the athletic program at East High School.
They are.
I think in 2020 maybe or 2019.
I think it's already started. I think this is going to be
the last year. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think they start this coming educational season.
What? But to put in the STEM program, the science, technology, engineering, math, that saddens me.
It does, yeah. What makes us feel bad that there are a lot of neighborhood kids that are in walking distance of East High School. Yes. They're going to have to catch the bus and ride to some of the neighboring schools.
Yeah, and that's not fair. Yeah. And I think that science, technology, engineering, and math are great subjects. But why can't you have sports? That just don't make sense to me, because it is the sports that keeps the community connected.
Well, they are going to have sports. It's just that it's going to be so difficult for those kids to get into that STEM program because you have to have an interest in those acronyms.
So if you're
not smart enough,
you can't get into that school. So it's going to be an optional school instead of a neighborhood school where everybody can attend.
It's going to be more of an academic school that you have to have high academics and you have to be interested in those areas. Yeah. And in the area of athletics, it's going to deplete them of the number of kids that could possibly be playing on an athletic team and possibly get a scholarship in athletics and not academics. It's going to have a situation where they won't get a chance because they won't be allowed to enter the school.
I know. I think that science, technology, engineering, math should be changed to science, technology, engineering, entrepreneurship, agriculture, ministry, and math.
Math, okay. Yeah, that would help get some of those other kids into that school.
Because the science, technology, engineering, and math, which are good fields, it leads you to corporate America. Entrepreneurship leads you to learning, becoming educated and owning a business.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Agriculture. Why have science, technology, engineering, and math, and you can't grow a watermelon or a flower? Agriculture is something that we haven't been taught, you know what I mean? And then you got ministry and math. Ministry meaning that whatever it is, ministry is a part of teaching our kids to give back in some way, to be ministry, have a ministry in whatever it may be. So I like the STEM program, but I think it's limiting.
Yeah, it is.
It's very limiting. And what it is steering people to corporate America when the goal should be we all can be empowered and own what we do. That's something that we want taught, and it's something that I want to start teaching our young kids. Financial literacy, number one. Entrepreneurship, number two. That whatever it is you want to do, own it.
Okay. Well, I want to share this with you also. You talked about the mural that's on the outside of the
yes.
There are people that come in off of the interstate and they stop and they get out the car and they actually take pictures of them standing up there with the mural behind them. But that's great. Yeah. The other part of that, on the basketball courts that feed into the center, we have 8 basketball goals and 4 full court goals that they can play. But on the wall, which is on the south side of the building, it's broken down into 5 sessions, and each one of those sessions of that wall depict a positive idea that we're trying to bestow upon the children, like work hard, get your education. And everything is very, very positive. So when the kids up there playing, even though they're on the outside of the building, they're still feeding into
and they're seeing these positive quotes, if you will, messages. Yeah. And the thing is, so how did the Grizzlies? I see that is Lester's part of the Grizzlies.
Right. They have a program inside the center.
Okay.
Their program has been so great that they have their own computer lab in the building.
Wow.
Everything in the building is very, very high technology.
Okay.
And what we had to do at that particular time is that they only wanted to use the room for 3 days for about 2 to 3 hours a day. Okay. And the arrangement with the city was that in the meantime, our kids could enter those classes at no cost to the Grizzlies organization.
Yeah.
And even the Grizzlies organization, when they apply for and it's 3 classes, is computer technology, it's advanced computer, and it's robotic technology.
Wow.
Where
I gotta come up there.
Yeah, where they're teaching the kids how to build robots. And they're getting judged on it. And at the end of the 6-week program, they're getting awards on it. But kids in the Binghamton area can enroll in the Grizz program at no cost to the child.
Really?
Yeah, and it's only a $10 minimum charge for those people that are coming outside of the neighborhood. But the absolutely great part is that on the days when they don't have their classes, the room is open for the kids at the center. So they're in there on any time that the Grizzlies are not in there. Yeah. And they've got touch-tone screens, they got a laptop, they got desktop computers, and then every computer has a headset. So if you were an hour in there, we were working on different programs, all you would have to do is plug into your headset, and I could plug in mine, and we would not be disturbed.
Yeah. I got to come up there, Casey.
You got to.
I've got to come up there.
It's gorgeous,
I've got to come up there. I haven't been up there because, honestly, my family, we had our wedding receptions there. We had family reunions we've had so many family reunions at the Lester Community Center, wedding receptions. It's just been home.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we try to have the people. Our concept is to let people know that, we work for the city, but this building is yours. You are a taxpayer. So, and you don't want to destroy nothing that you have built.
Yes,
you want to
that is for you.
Absolutely. You want to great. And and this is one thing that we have really bestowed upon the kids. You don't want to let other people tear up anything that belongs to you. That's going to help you grow and develop.
That's the truth. That's the
truth.
So
we have an outside deal that's tied into the outside basketball goals. If they never let anybody remove the rims or dunk on the rims or bend the rim, then I'll keep the nets on the rims. Always put nets on. And it's amazing how that has worked for the last 8 years. It has worked perfectly. Yeah. We've had to replace no rims that are on the outside.
So you're teaching kids, and this is so important, to take care of what is yours.
Absolutely. Teaching them responsibility.
Responsibility. That if you don't take care of it, nobody else will.
That's very true.
So you have not had to replace any rims outside?
No. Wow. Not any out of the 8 goals that are back there. And there are times that the center, and they're outside using the rims in the basketball goal, even when the center is closed, especially like on Sunday and on late on Saturdays evening. Yeah. And we have people that get off of work, they get off from different jobs, like Federal Express, and they come there and play basketball after 12.
Yeah.
So the only request that they've ever made for me is to keep nets on them and asking me, could I keep the lights on a little bit longer?
Okay. And so not only about that, they're keeping the property clean.
Absolutely.
It's so clean up there.
That's one thing we know. We know that when people pass by the center, they look at the outside and they depict what they think is going on the inside.
Yeah.
So if you're dressed and keep your outside clean, you expect to be clean on the inside.
That's
and
right.
People just are amazed when they come inside the center and they see the facility and what's going on, the bulletin board, the plants that are in the center, and the different programs.
Yes.
And on one particular program, we don't wait for the kids to come and pick up us. We go and pick the kids up because we walk to get them and we walk them to the center.
Oh, wow.
And that's part of the educational program.
Yes.
And it's one of the largest educational and tutoring and homework help program in the city of Memphis.
Well, about 2 weeks ago now, Alice was featured on what channel was it? Channel 3, I believe. Channel 3. And it brought me to tears, Alice, because I've been trying to get her on the show too. Okay. And she kept saying, "Oh, Afro, just call me later. Or I'll talk to you later." And she still hadn't committed. Right. But when I saw that expose on her and her watering those flowers and washing the kids' clothes and teaching them, and I kept saying, she's an educator. You are an educator, Alice. You have a degree in childhood development from Leicester Community Center. From giving back, it touched my soul, truthfully. It was a great article. It was a great article on her, and I remember when she started. Yeah, she does a whole lot. Yes. Than that article depicted. Yeah. She's like, well, she's the assistant director. Yeah. And she's just instrumental in everything that goes on. And how she says she loves to be there with the children, even when, like she said, I think she said that she'll stay until their parents come and get them. And it may be time for her to go home, but she'll stay there. Every child is gone, and I just thought that. Hats off, salute to you, my sister. She's on here. She's Alice is joined. She didn't say anything, but thank you, Alice, for everything that you've done for all of our children there at Leicester Community Center. You are wonderful, and I'm still waiting for you to commit to come on the show. But when they showed pieces, clips of the community center and all those beautiful flowers and how clean and how beautiful the center is after all of these years. Now, who painted those murals? Were they local artists? They came from the Memphis Art Association. Okay. And they came through a grant, and they actually bidded the job out. Okay. And we actually had an opportunity to sit in on the bidding process. Wow. And they had to bring in a sample of what they wanted to do with the mural. Okay. So they brought in a sample. And if you come to the center and just ask to just go on and look at the mural, the mural also represents, kids having fun, kids on bicycles. Yep. And with their parents. There's one with the parents sitting on the bench. That's right. I've got, as you enter the building, there are two elderly parents that are sitting on the bench, and the little boy has balloons. And he's playing with balloons. But and what we were trying to show that the community center is just not for any one age group or any one sex. It's for all age groups, all sexes. It's for family-oriented program, individual-oriented program. And it's just a place for your family to just enjoy. Yes. I need to mention also they have a group of ladies that come on Thursday night called the Junior League of Memphis. Junior League of Memphis, okay. And what they do a program that involves every age group. They do a program for the preschoolers, for the teens, and for the adults. And then at the end of the 45 educational program, they assemble and they get a home-cooked meal with at least 2 vegetables, a meat, a beverage, and bread, and then they get some type of a dessert. And the family, and the purpose of it is for the families to come up and be educated together, play together, sit down and eat together as a family. And that's on Thursdays? Yeah, on Thursdays. Okay. We've gotten to be in such a busy body and business society, and we just don't have time to sit down and bake bread together. Right. And that's one of the things that our parents once required. Yes. That you come home at a certain time and you sit down and you eat together. Well, that's what we were and trying. Talk to each other. Put your phones down and talk to each other.
And that was a way that we used to communicate.
Yes.
That's how you passed on information.
Yes.
So we're trying to.
And that's how you felt the sense of family.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, my mother is a person that I hold in esteem for that because she loved to cook.
Okay.
And our family still gets together, but has got every Sunday we get together and break bread together. That is what helped my family stay together. Okay. You know what I mean? It wasn't about the food necessarily. It was about her way of cooking to bring her kids together and her family at least once a week to talk to each other. You know,
one of the things that we teach the kids is that we want the kids to look you in the face and make eye contact. So I want to
communication skills.
I'm trying to look at you and look at your face when I probably should be looking at the camera. So that's one of the things that we teach when the kids come up. We want them to look at us. Yes. We want them to make eye contact with us. And we want them to talk to us. And
speak intelligently. It's all about that communication. Yeah, you're teaching them skills that will last a lifetime. I want to say hi to some more people here, Casey.
All right.
Let's see. Jackie Deshaun Nichols has joined. Jackie McLemore has joined. Jason says, hey, good evening. Hi, Jason. Isaac Jones has joined. My niece, Adrienne Denise. Michael Toller from Binghamton. Casey O'Montez. Thank you, Casey. Ronnie Levy has joined. Rhonda Faulkner. And Michael Toller says, what up, my Binghamton sister? What's up, Mr. Casey? Thanks.
Tell Michael hi.
He hear you say. I'm honored today, you guys, to have Casey here on the You Are My Sister talk show here at FIG Productions. He has been and still is. I guess you're not gonna retire, huh?
We're looking at some retirement opportunities.
Okay. Well, you do what you love, huh?
I would like very much to have someone to follow in my footsteps.
Yes. Have you groomed somebody?
Yeah, there are several people. Okay. First of all, Alice Davis.
Yes.
She could follow in my footsteps, and it will not miss a beat.
Yes, yes.
Then she was saying that she may be looking at retirement too pretty soon. So we're looking for two people to fulfill our role.
Yes.
And we just
you got some big shoes.
Oh well, we just don't want. We want the shoes to say the same size.
Yes.
We want the person to have either bigger feet so when they fit in those shoes.
And they're gonna have whoever takes your place has to have the passion. You have to have the passion to teach, and that's everybody doesn't have that. Okay. You know what I mean? I mean, they have passions for other things, but teaching is more than just 1 + 1, equals 2, or to read or whatever. Life skills is what we all can teach. We can all use our lives to teach something for us.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And our kids are like sponges. They absorb the negative and they absorb the positive. You want to make sure that what they're seeing and absorbing from your life is positivity.
Absolutely.
It's positively.
Yeah. And it's real important that those people like Danny Young,
yes,
the swimming pool instructor.
Now, will he be retiring or going out now, do you think?
No, I'm just not sure. I haven't talked with him. I've talked to him in recent, but we didn't talk about what he had planned on doing. But
he's got to heal first.
But there are a number of other individuals like a Victor Crawford and Barry Crawford that comes up and they kind of give back because when things are going on at the center, they kind of help out as volunteers.
Victor is very community oriented. Victor's on now. Victor Crawford. He's watching. Look at Michael, all the love that's coming across.
And you would think some of the people that would actually work there like that, and when we're doing programs and they're there, and if we need help in doing anything, they just fulfill the role directly, then they just help us out. So and I think that they just...
And Dan has been there a long time too, hasn't he?
Yes, Dan has been there quite a while.
Yes, he has.
He came up and Victor did also in the swimming pool ground where they came up as lifeguards.
Yeah.
But it's just good that you have people that their parents lived in Binghamton, their grandparents lived in Binghamton, they go to church in Binghamton, and therefore they went to school in Binghamton.
Yes.
And they just come back to just help out, and all that help is just it's just received and just... We just love to have that help because it does not, one or two of us can't do everything, but a village can help raise a child.
Well, I'm back now, and I want to offer my knowledge in so many fields. So I want to get with you and just some ideas that I have and see if what you guys need, what I have to offer. And I want to play volleyball. Okay. I used to play volleyball up there. Do you have adult volleyball any nights of the week?
We used to play quite a bit, but it got overran by the number of basketball players that are up there.
So anybody in Binghamton want to play some adult open volleyball? I like to. I still love volleyball, and I play at the gym that I belong to here in Bartlett. Mm-hmm. But I'm not playing with anybody who looks like me. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Right. But I would just like to play with some of my black people. Right. So I'd like to see that. Hopefully, we can get a summer league or something going on one time, just to play some volleyball, just to get together. It's good exercise, And when you first opened the center, we played volleyball up there.
Yeah, we had a good volleyball program.
Good volleyball program. Yes.
The thing that we're trying to still do is that we're trying to bring back some of the traditional sports that they're played in other areas, like a soccer program.
Yeah.
And these are non-traditional sports in the Binghamton area, but we're trying to incorporate them into the program at the center.
Yes.
And we're trying to bring back softball. We're trying to bring back baseball.
Yeah.
But we just don't have the commitment from adults that's willing to come up and help us out.
Help out.
It's a lot of work, without a doubt. No question about that.
Because you're not just teaching sports. In order to coach sports, I guess, you really got to play a role of a parent in teaching kids too. You know what I mean? Discipline and structure and teamwork. It's just not about how many points you can make or how good you can play. You have to have this other discipline in order to play any sports. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And that whole team concept. So it's a lot to teach as a coach of anything.
Let me say something about the summer program as well as to let people know that register their kids in our summer day camp program.
Summer day camp, okay.
That this year it's going to be free.
The summer day camp at Leicester Community Center. Is it just Leicester?
Excuse me. No, it's all over.
All over.
All
so
over the city.
Citywide will be free. And when can they register? When does registration open?
April the 7th.
Okay. Starting, what age groups do you start at for summer day camp?
Age 5.
Age 5 to what age?
15.
Free. All righty. And the summer day camp offers different things. Go ahead. You want to take a minute and walk away if you want to?
Yes.
Okay. He's going to step away and get that cough out, you guys. Yeah. Take your time. If you are watching while he is clearing his throat here, if Casey has made an impact in your life, in your family, in your community, let me know. Write a comment here and tell him thank you, or just share a brief story about Leicester Community Center and what it means to you and how it has helped you, your family, your kids, your sisters, your brothers, your parents. Let me know because Leicester Community Center has been the center of my life since 1980. And I was probably 1980, I was about 18 years old or 19 years old when it first opened. And I was very active up there. I loved playing volleyball. Casey had aerobics. Do you still have aerobics, Casey? Exercise program?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't have our latest exercise program.
Okay. Because I would like to see an R&B exercise class somewhere. Just people like me that are 50-something can't dance no more, but just want to dance to some music, get some exercise through music. But you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good. We have about 15 more minutes here as we continue to talk here. So what, over the years, you've seen from start to now, 38 years, what would you say made Leicester survive? Because it has been the crack cocaine period hit Binghamton or hit the city of Memphis and also urban areas. Binghamton was not left out of that. Okay. We lost a lot of lives to crack cocaine. People are jailed or whatever. And Leicester survived. What has made Leicester survive?
I think the number one thing is that the people really care about the neighborhood. And the center is in the neighborhood.
Yes, it is.
We also probably need to say that the churches has made a big impact.
Yes.
And the churches are trying to help.
Yes.
With that particular problem. Yeah. But the people just really have a love for the neighborhood, and that love is extended to the community center.
Yes.
And
And if you drive through Binghamton is not trashed.
No, it's not.
You know, trash in the streets, garbage in the streets, run down, broken down houses falling over, you know. It's still a neighborhood. It's still vibrant. You have some areas, of course, but I would like to see what my future goal is. You know, right there in Gracewood, behind the police station?
Yes, I do.
That's what I am speaking into existence. It's going to be FIG Studios one day.
Oh, wow. That would be fantastic.
Where I teach and write plays and have a movie set, because I don't want to go to Hollywood. I got too much talent. I want to keep it in Memphis.
Right.
And that is what I believe that God's going to do for me.
Well, let me tell you what my goal is. And they have what they call this, they have funds sometimes that are available, but this is called capital fund through the city.
Capital fund? Okay.
It's money that's brought in for major projects.
Okay.
One of the things that I would like to see is that my gym is so small that I don't have any place for the parents to sit.
Yes.
The gym is also so small that you can't play volleyball and have 2 volleyball games going because the court is so small.
Yes.
I would like for that court to be a recreational court, and it's just for skill building.
Yeah.
And then a separate building that will house bleachers.
Yes.
Would house areas where you could take showers.
Yes.
Where you could come up there, and then you could also invite volleyball tournaments there and have 2 courts.
Yes.
Because the volleyball is a long program.
Yes.
And it takes a long time to sometimes end the games. But
yeah.
So we would have a workout gym and then a gym for participation for different sports like basketball.
Yeah, where you have seating and bleachers and everything.
Yes,
where you
that's
can
what I would like to see.
Yes,
so
it's coming in, it's speaking into existence. Yes.
And we have the land. We just don't have the money to.
So what about the land? Where would that be?
Well, it could connect to the side of the center.
To the side of the center.
Or else it connect to the back of the center.
Back of it, okay.
Because a lot of people don't understand that the park that looks like it belongs to the school is really city property.
Okay.
And it really belongs to the community center.
Okay.
So any part of that property that belongs to the city, they can actually use that property to build on.
Okay, wow. It's going to happen.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It's going to happen. I believe you speak things into existence.
Yeah. And see, that way we could have an aerobic class talk in the smaller gym and actually games going on.
Yes. You could do dual things instead of being limited to one thing at a time. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah. It's going to happen, Casey.
I sure would like to see it.
All things are possible. Who would have thought that 38 years later that it would still be so vibrant? And everybody knows Lester Community Center. Yeah. It's like you can name a few other community centers, but where is that at? Or what, you know? But you say Lester, and people automatically know that's in Binghamton.
Well, it's also amazing that we took some areas of the center that we weren't doing anything with, and we actually had them to come and turn the soil over.
Okay.
So if we're actually trying to teach the kids how to grow their own vegetables.
Yes.
So we took a dead part because it's in the back of the very back.
Yes.
So it doesn't get a lot of direct sunlight. Yeah, but it does get some, and we got the planters already in place, and the seniors are coming out there, and we're getting some help from the University of Tennessee. They'll give us the seeds for us to actually grow our own vegetables in the back of the center.
We need that. We need community gardening.
Absolutely.
We need because most of us, we're 2 or 3 generations now of people who don't know how to grow anything.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Everything doesn't come from the grocery store. And we need that. That's part what I say about the STEM program, agriculture, and we need to learn how to grow our own vegetables, our own flowers, our own plants, work the land, and take care of it too. So I think that's wonderful to teach kids that.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that's really good.
The seniors come in and they help with the program. So they're back in the garden, and they've got boxes that they kind of work with also. So back, it's about 7 or 8 different boxes back there, and the kids have one, and the seniors have the other.
Yes. My goodness. Yeah. So Lester Community Center, in my opinion, is an educational center. It is a school. It is an institute of life skills.
Yes. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. I like that.
An institute that's teaching, because schools don't teach life skills anymore. They're busy with the technology part and but what you're teaching kids is life skills, how to navigate life, how to live, how to be a productive human being and a citizen of the world.
No, that's great. Yeah.
That's priceless.
Well, we're hoping that the kids and the teenagers and the people that we work with keep their dedication and keep their spirit, and then foster that by going on and doing bigger and better things.
Yes. And then when those kids grow up and they'll have an appreciation for who taught them, then they'll teach the next generation. So it's a domino effect. When
that's very true.
Whatever you teach a child directly or indirectly, it is something that they're going to peep when they get older.
Well, through some of the programs that we have, especially the after-school program, and we have the 5 and 7-year-old, we've taught them, to eat properly and eat vegetables. Now, what they have done, they have gone home and encouraged their families to eat properly. So it's a ripple effect.
Yes, it is.
The kids can actually become teachers because they're actually carbon copies of you.
Yes, they are.
So some of them are doing real well. And the parents will tell you that, that we're going to go and just, we're going to eat at home because, we don't like to go out to eat. And the food is going to be much better at home. And then instead of eating the candy bar, a lot of them will tell you we need to be eating more fruit.
Fruit, yes. So, give me an apple or orange.
So they're eating that. And apple and orange comes with a meal.
Yeah.
I did tell you that in the afternoon when we're going to pick the kids up and we do the homework.
Now, when you say pick them up, are you picking them up from Leicester or various schools?
We worked out an arrangement with the parents. Okay. They've actually signed off on us picking them up from the neighborhood school, which is Leicester Prep. Okay, you've got Leicester Middle and Leicester Prep in the building right behind us. Well, we actually walk up there, and they have the kids that we're supposed to coming up to get. They're assembled in the cafeteria waiting.
Wow, okay.
So we walk them to the center.
That's good.
And when they come to the center, they have to do 45 minutes to maybe an hour of just scholastic work or homework. And we do try to help them, but we give them a quiet and a dedicated person in the room and a quiet environment to do the work. But the other part of that is that by age division, they go in and they get a lunch. And the lunch is a meal for them that offers a snack. And they generally offer some piece of fruit that goes along with the lunch. Also, they get a beverage, whether it's chocolate milk or juice. So, the kids are getting a chance to be educated.
Yes.
They're getting a chance to get their homework done.
Yes.
And then we are feeding them.
Yes.
So when the parents come to pick them up, all they have to do is take them home, bathe them, and put them in bed.
Well, the thing is, I have a son. He's grown now. He's 34. But when he was growing up, we moved out. We lived right by North Fraser Community Center. And the director over there at the time, you probably know her, Miss Vester.
I know it was Vester.
Yeah, she's still living.
No, she's not.
Oh my goodness.
She's famous.
Miss Vester, and this is why I know how powerful. Because I was grown when Leicester was open. Okay. But because of Leicester, when I moved out there, Cameron, he went to Brookmead and it's on the same campus with North Fraser.
All right.
And they too had everything for a child to do when he got out of school. They helped with his homework. I put him in every class up there. Right. Even cooking classes, cooking for kids. And it was because of North Fraser Community Center that he went on to be who he is today. Absolutely. Because the village was there. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so the community centers have a lot to offer. We just have to take our kids there and as parents become active in what they do there. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
And so the tutoring was the best part for me, to have someone to help them with the homework right after school. Like you say, your kids come in and you guys help them with with their homework. Right. And because parents, we can't help kids with homework no more.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah,
and I'm not saying that, it's just that the way, the structure and the teaching, that just something with just lowercase and uppercase, they don't talk like that no more.
No, they don't.
It's hard for us to work with our kids. And it's an opportunity. Just about every community in Memphis has a community center, doesn't it?
Almost all of them.
Just about every community center.
There are 25 community centers in the city, and that's just counting the ones that are city-owned and operated.
Yeah.
Now, there are some MAM programs. Those are ministers athletically. Okay. They have about 4. So but almost every
neighborhood, especially in every urban neighborhood, there is a community center.
Absolutely.
And take advantage of your local community center, not just for your children. See what you can do to contribute, to help, to lend a hand, whether you have kids or not. If you have kids, get involved with your kids in the community center. And let's get back to the village.
Of raising our kids.
Let's get back to the village, because the African proverb that we all know, it takes a village. It takes a village, and you are a part of the village. No matter who you are, even if your kids are grown or you don't have any kids, you are still part of the village and should take an ownership and responsibility that I need to help raise these kids.
Well, one great thing about Binghamton, and this going back to being a family, is that if you know your grandmother is chastising you or spanking you for doing something wrong, you don't say nothing to grandmama or granddad about it, because that's the part of the family. And that's what has happened in Binghamton. You know, when we send the kids to the office, when we want to have a conversation with the parent about the behavior, the parents don't come up there and ask the child what are they doing. They come up there and support us, and they know that we would not be doing what we're doing with them unless it was to make them better and to help them. So we have some great parents.
Great parents, that's good.
And that's because they know that they're part of the family. And just like Ms. Harper is keyed in, the volunteer base that we have helps us out tremendously. And she is one of the ones that
Beverly Harper. She's a volunteer.
And she
thank you, Beverly.
Absolutely. And there are many more others that come up there, but there are some that are there daily with us, and they're just a tremendous help. And again, if you get the kids to mimic you and to shadow you and do as you do, you'll find out that by being around them, that they'll pick up your behavior, your characteristics.
They will.
And then you'll develop some little altercations, some little allegations, some little
because they're video recorders. That's what I say. Before VCRs and all this, because kids are recorders, and they record what they see grown-ups do, particularly their parents, and they just repeat it back to you.
And they know the rules that you have.
They do.
And they know when someone else is breaking the rules, and they'll let you know.
So let me ask you this, because you work with kids and you have for so long. I believe that part of loving a child and a child knowing that they are loved is when a parent gives them structure and discipline.
I do too. I couldn't agree with you more.
You know, that is love. So when you don't discipline your kids and give them some structure, they grow up to not, and you may be giving them everything else. You may be giving them all the tennis shoes and games and, all the material things. But if you're not giving them structure and discipline, they don't believe or feel that they are loved. Because when you give them that structure and discipline, they know that you care about them.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
and the discipline that you give them and the structure you give it with love.
With love, yes. Because material things don't replace love. No, it does not. You can buy all the games and videos and Jordans and stuff like that, but if you just let them do what they want to do and they don't have no structure, they don't feel love.
Well, one of the greatest feelings we have is when the kid's parent come to pick them up, and the kid doesn't want to go home. And will cry.
They will cry because they're having such a good time up there.
Yes, and then some of the parents will, if they have long weekends and they're working and they can't get the kids up there because it's a non-school day, they will come back on Monday and say that they son or daughter asked to bring them to the center on a Saturday or Sunday. So that's a great feeling.
It is. Yes. I would think that is because what it's also teaching the kids is that sense of village or sense of community. You know, they get that at a young age instead of being isolated, especially if they're the only child or whatever at home. They come up there and they are part of something. Kids, that's why games are so powerful in a sense, because they give kids a sense of belonging.
That's true. And they will tell you, you know, that the reason they're in different games because the people in the games love them. So in order for you to keep them out, you've got to just display more love than what they do in those games.
Yes, you do.
And that's one of the things we try to really strengthen. We try to let the kids know whatever we do with them is done with love.
Yes.
You know? And we want them to be better than their parents. We want them to be better than us. And we want them to be successful in life. And I think that's the bottom line. You want kids, you want teenagers, you want the young adults, you want them to be citizens first, and successful second.
Citizens first, right? Citizens of the world, citizens of the community, citizens of the family, citizens of the community and successful citizens.
Yeah, absolutely.
But honestly, if they are all of those things, they are successful. Because being a good steward or a good citizen is being successful. It is taking ownership of who you are and being responsible for your actions and your reactions. So it's a domino effect, So they don't want to go
home. And we try to teach the staff and the people that are at the center that there's no amount of money that they can buy kindness.
No.
And you don't have to pay for kindness.
No.
It just has to come from within.
Yeah.
And it should come from the heart.
Yes, it is.
And if it comes from the heart, it's received at the heart.
And have you ever seen kindness or love on sale anywhere?
No, I have not.
On a clearance rack, you know what I mean? You can't buy it.
No, you can't. But you can. You can display it and you can give it at no cost.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And you can. And people, when you are genuine in your love and your kindness and your giving, it's not something that you talk about. It emanates from you. You know what I'm saying? You light up the room before you say anything because people can feel your love and your kindness.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And if you keep letting, because really is truthfully boils down to letting your light shine. When you let your light shine, it will truly light up the world. Yeah. I believe that. Well, and you've been lighting up the world.
We're hoping that we're putting and producing a lot of light shines and a lot of individuals that want to be successful and they want to be stationary in life.
Yes.
And I can see it. I can see the development improving.
Yes.
I can see the neighborhood growing.
Yes.
I can see kids that are coming up there. It seems like that almost daily someone that's coming up there that wants you to register them or want to use a computer to get registered for the SAT or the ACT.
Yes.
So, and then we see the athletes that come there.
Yes.
And now we're getting the chance to see the scholars and the statesmen that are coming here. So.
Yes. Let's take some more. We have some more comments here. Wanda Salter says, hello, Amber and Walter, our Lesser Community Center hero. My kids, Dietrich and Dietrich grew up at the community center. Marcus Fitzgerald Brown has joined. Thank you, Marcus. I'm trying to get him on the show too. He is celebrating 30 years of entrepreneurship in the computer business.
Absolutely. And he's one of the gentlemen that comes to the center sometime and just like help and encouragement to the neighborhood.
Thank you, Marcus, for doing that. Wanda Salter says, sorry, Afro, for misspelling your name. No problem. Right. LaSonia Hodge has joined. Thank you. Trisha Henderson says, my daughter told me how Walter Casey introduced her and her friends to basketball in 2005. They were in the 5th grade. They played for Leicester and East High School. Thank you, Mr. Casey. I've had Trisha on as a guest too.
Oh, have you? Jackie
Harris. Let's see. The next person, I don't know this person here. Red Said Johnson. Red Said Johnson. Are you Red Said Johnson from Upper Johnson Circle? How you doing, Said? Dolores Harris has joined. Jackie Harris says, Casey, my heart has always been with the children of Binghamton community. He truly loves what he does. Kudos. Thank you, Jackie. Via Claxton has joined. Margaret Thompson Pryor, thank you. Gloria Boyd and my friend Warren Williams. Hey, Warren. Warren's going to be back on the show, you guys, in April. I'm having him back on. And I wanted people to come on and just tell you thank you.
We'll thank the people that commented. And for those that have not, if you know someone that's on Facebook, give them a call and tell them that I still have the black pickup truck. That was one of the keys to
Really? What year is this black pickup truck?
It's an 86, but I drove it and they were in discussion about who knew me and how long I had been at the center. And they said, well, if you know him, what color truck does he drive? And that was the key. There was a black pickup. So
are you still driving the truck?
I still have it, yes.
Okay. Is it still drivable?
It's still drivable.
Wow.
And just tell them, they know about the black pickup to definitely call in or make a comment.
Well, Walter, you guys, a couple of weeks ago, you received the Memphis Trailblazer.
Yes, Legacy Award.
And that was there 2 events? One at New Sardis?
Yeah, that was just one event.
One event, okay. Okay. And who among you, some of the other people that were actually
Mayor Willie Harrington sat right behind me. The speaker came out of the Memphis area. Her name was, she was not the speaker. She was the singer. She was the soloist. The lady had just an unbelievable voice. Her name was Hillary. And then
Hillary?
There were one of my friends that's a professional football player. He was there. He was also on it, and there were 20 honorees altogether. The great part about the Legacy Award is that the award is given to you while you are alive.
Yes.
I thought that was the greatest part.
Yes.
I hear people say all the time that, a lot of people say nice things about you when you're no longer here. But it's just great to hear some nice things about you while you're alive.
And you are truly a living legend. A living legend. We're, a person who has dedicated his life. And he is, you guys, married to my classmate, Don Bolton Casey, and they have a 20-year-old son, Walter
Cleveland Casey Jr.
And he is in college now.
Yes, he's at CBU.
And I was hoping that Dawn would have been with him today, but she went to take him to school. Or
no, they're waiting on me to get back home. We're going to take him together. So
okay.
By herself.
And we just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me, and thank you. I want to thank you for the opportunity of just sharing this moment with you. And sharing the conversation that we've had with one another.
I know. We've known each other for a long time. Don, his wife, and of course, with a lot of Binghamton with Jack. And we all went to school together from Leicester. I came to Binghamton when I was in the 7th grade and went on and graduated from East High. So we all were close-knit. Still are now because of social media. That is what I love about social media. People that I may never have talked to again or saw unless it was a funeral or something. You know what I mean?
True.
So now it's not about, we get together on Facebook and we talk and we share, we keep in touch with each other. And that is a good thing, the positive thing today about social media if you use it for the right reasons, is that we can still be a family now, not just see people sporadically or when something happens or at a game or whatever. But I do thank you guys for watching. I hope you share this, even if you haven't shared it already. Share this feed on your page. Help me to help the show grow. It's on the Binghamton page. I went to the Parks Commission. I couldn't put it on there. Yeah, City of Memphis. But share it with as many people as you can. If you didn't get to watch it live, if they didn't get to watch it live, I do need your support. I do thank you, Casey. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
No, I'm just extremely thankful for the kids and the now young adults and the adults that have come through the doors of the community center. And I'm just really, really thankful that I've been given a lot of love, a lot of caring, a lot of concern about the neighborhood, and to just see it grow and mature. And I couldn't be more thankful for the people that helped me through my lifetime, and the people showed us that I stood upon to be where I am. And hopefully that I've done something in my lifetime that will help someone be successful.
Yes. And so you were standing on the shoulders
of Power Spillers, Herman O'Neill, Coach Adams, Coach Brewer, Coach Sandridge, Coach John. and
now people are standing on your shoulders. So many people are standing on the shoulders saying, it was Walter Casey and Leicester Community Center that helped me to be who I am. And I'm really one of those people too, even though I was grown when it was open. I was proud when that community center opened.
I was too.
It was just like, oh my goodness, it was a gathering place that people could come, and it was just fun, to see everybody. And I still love that about that. So we are about 10 minutes over, and Casey has to leave and take his son back. Thank you so much again. Next week, you guys, my show next week, I'm going to have on Gregory Williamson. He was on a few weeks ago, but he's coming back on to talk about why men abuse women and how and what we need to do. How they need to, men themselves need to understand why they abuse women and what women can do to get out of relationships where they are being abused. So we're going to have a great conversation next week, a very needed conversation, because so many women, every week we see in the news where a woman has been either violated in some way or her boyfriend has killed her kids or her and her kids. It is a virus, in my opinion, a disease, a sickness that's taking lives every week. I'm so tired of hearing on the television every week that some child has been killed or abused in some way, or a woman has. So we're going to be addressing this issue next week. He's going to share his story about why and how he used to abuse women and what changed his life, and how he's now going out talking to men and trying to get them to be better men, to man up, you know. And so that's going to be our conversation next week. So I do thank you guys for tuning in today to the You Are My Sister show.
And I want to thank them for tuning in.
Yes, and share this on your page today. I'll have you back.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'd love to come back.
Yes, I will have you back. And I'm going to call you. I've got a lot of projects going on right now, trying to get my next book out and things, my next third season coming up. I want to do something with Lester in a teaching capacity, especially teaching our kids to write books, become young authors, you know?
Well, one of the things you can do during the summer months, we will have 140 kids that are eligible to be in the summer program. Most of the time, there's 50 girls, 50% girls, 50% boys.
Yes.
You could come and maybe talk to some of the girls. You know?
Love to do that.
You know, we would just need a time and a date, and because we got the kids there.
Yeah, so got the young minds all there at once.
Yeah, and the younger the minds, the more development that you can incorporate in that new mind.
Yeah, because it takes one seed, plant one good seed in one child's life, and watch it grow.
Right. And we can do that.
We can do that. Yes, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. Well, I thank you guys. It's about 7:15, almost 7:15, 7:11. I will see you next week. Thank you, Casey. Tell Dawn I said hello. This is Amfra at FIG Productions, where we don't employ people, we empower them. Thank you, guys. And Binghamton, we are family. Thank you.